Talking about the return of Fozey, and I would love to see it because I love seeing people return to form as we get into game number 1 here on Mammoth.
Now, if we're looking at sets between these two, if you look at community tournament sets, it's heavily favored Fozey from 8-2. If you look at just official tournaments, they've only met one time, and Sarme won that, and that was the Europe Mammoth Cup in 2020. So these two have not run up against one another in quite some time, and I believe they were on different characters. It looks like Fozey reported an Ember. Sarme didn't report anything. So wildly different characters in a different meta at a different period of time.
And now we have Fozey rocking the Ulgrim, who, like, Ulgrim's come in and out of meta, right? Like, he's been super popular, then kind of disappears for a little bit. Whenever Rocket Lance becomes relevant again, that's when he starts to make his little appearance. And he always had a pretty great Axe signature kit. He's been nerfed a couple of times in the past, but he still proves to be a staple. Wow!
I was going to be so mad if that hit. I was going to be furious.
Also, dude. Here we go. Looks like they're going to be playing the game a little bit off the side of the stage here. Fozey trying to find a way in, get some weapon throw. Not going to be able to convert off of that, though. But it's getting to that point where you can start going for that Ulgrim down sig, man. On that Axe, it'll slice you. Oh, I was about to say, if you got the back-to-back left-right, I was about to flip.
Yeah, getting the reversals over and over again. The weapon toss should be enough to do it. It is going to take him out on the bottom, but this is very even. And just so far, they are both, once again, swinging. There is no passive play. You're not going to be running too far away from Rocket Lance like on a regular basis, but Sarme's pressure with what we've seen from Koji and just the other slew of characters so far today with the Mordex has been absurd. He is entirely about making you feel as uncomfortable as possible at all times today.
We'll see what happens as this weapon spawn comes in. Sarme's able to grab it quickly. It is the sword. Wow. We saw a lot of good bow work. Nice GCD sig to get back onto the platform. That was a little bit disrespectful.
You thought you were done with me?
Straight up.
Say, no, we throwing hands all day, baby.
The wake up from all the way over there. Fozey probably did not expect that. A rare neutral signature from the Axe and then a drop on the D-Light ground pound from Fozey. And he's going to fall.
That hurt, man. Like, that's one of
in
those.
Every way possible.
Because usually when people miss the D-Light ground pound, usually they're too close to the inside and then they pass. But he, like, overshot it and went on the other side. So he was even further away from the stage, and he ended up losing his stock for it.
Yeah, now you got to recover from that. You do have the ability to get the KO. Pretty simple if you can catch him on a whip, especially with that right there, catching him on recovery, trying to push at the ledge. But Sarme is just playing mid-range, playing center stage, saying absolutely not. You got to get into my zone. You got to deal with these D-Lights and just racking up that damage. Still not enough off the side.
This bow is doing a really good job of handling Fozey's lance. Those weapon tosses were impressive. There's the ground pound right on the edge. Picks it up so easy, and the game is done.
Such a clean reversal right there. For Sarme, too, you're up with stock. You have been kind of controlling the offstage play, especially after you saw that whiff before from the attempted ground pound. It's in your head. It's like, well, you know, he might not be as confident going for this, and if he messes up, I'm going to punish him for it. That's exactly what we saw at the end there.
That's unfortunate, man. Just two misplays from Fozey costing him a lot there. Like, I'm not even like, you know, okay, he lost that game, but I'm like, if you're able to clean it up in game 2, like, it could look so different. Like, I hope he doesn't take it too much to heart because, like, aside from that, those games are looking fairly close to even-ish. You know, it's hard to say how the trajectory would have been if it wasn't some very crucial mistakes.
And we also saw incredible work from Sarme on the other side of that. Really, really strong in terms of efficiency in his KOs. 448 damage was all it took. That's less than 150 damage per stock when you average it out. Part of that goes to that ground pound in orange that Sarme picked up at the end. But Fozey coming in, wants to get this beautiful Rayman play that we love to see, immediately abandoning the Ulgrim, trying to catch up as much as he can in game 2.
I think a lot of it has to do with what you just said a second ago, the ground pounds, Demon Island. You weren't able to get that pressure off stage that you wanted, so you have gauntlets, and you also have a good weapon toss. Fozey just had an incredibly dominant first stock there. Didn't take that much damage, kept Sarme away, and I already the Rayman shining through.
Yeah, no, it looked like this is exactly what Fozey needed. Granted, on the side of Sarme, I do want him to be a little bit careful when he's using that sword. He goes for D-Light Dare, and Fozey just got gimped. That's what happened. I was going to say, Fozey wakes up with a gravity cancel, unlike with whatever weapon he's using every time, and I'm wondering if he's caught on to that yet. But despite that, I mean, Sarme able to bring this back to even extraordinarily quickly. Fozey on the gauntlets. We haven't seen a whole lot of this gauntlet play yet, so let's see how it's going to go.
We got to get Fozey back on the ground. So much of the damage that he is taking is just from anti-airs
Woo,
coming.
what a
Oh, is he going to get it again?
Oh my god, you were
Sarme
disgusting.
is so nasty. He got the Gimp on the left side, and you're like, okay, well, you can't rely on that all the time, right? That's a once in a blue moon. And then you remember that he did it last game, and then as you're thinking about that and remembering, he does it again right in front of your eyes on the right side of the screen.
Oh my god.
Is he going to do it again?
Oh my god!
Is he going to do it again?
Oh,
Oh, he's disgusting.
Oh, you are actually,
He's disgusting.
You are so rude, and I approve of all of it. Sarme basically looked at everybody who was watching and said, you know what? I can not only lab these combos out on the left, I can do them on the right too, and you're gonna get hit by it, and you're gonna feel a little silly for it. Sarme, beautifully executed. You said we need to see Fozey on the ground. Yeah, not just in center stage in the air, we need to see Fozey on the ground too, off stage, because this counter pick trying to remove the wall was absolutely detrimental for him, and way more benefit for Sarme.
Man, this is tough too because Sarme got that D-Light into ground pound, which is a true combo as long as you have, I think, like 5 or more decks on bow, and then like Koji got 8. So, you know, Koji's straight chilling, right? Like, he's like, this is an easy combo for me to hit. And then on top of that, it's like, bow ground pound has the highest base force in the game, so you're not coming back from that. He hit him with the twinkle toes just to look pretty, but you're not coming back.
Let's look at some numbers on that one. A minute and a half. Oh, long game. The whole thing was done in that time. 376 damage was all it took for Sarme to get the KO on that. Incredible work. Immediately abandoning the Rayman that we love to see over onto Sir Roland, another Lance character similar to Ulgrim, one of the more higher reported characters from Fozey as well.
I think the big, you know what? I was gonna say it's mostly to be able to get access to the incredible range that Sir Roland has on the signatures. We saw a couple attempts at that, but there we go right there again. Just to try and back off this air-to-air game that Sarme is just winning out on. Bro, you tried to go off stage, go for GCD Zig on. All right. So okay, Sarme's feeling himself.
Oh, dude. Oh, he got
Oh,
the
he
ground
ran
pound.
into it.
All right, perfect. Won't be able to make it. No, he gets the touch. He gets enough on the dodge. Just knows his resources. Says, let me go for one more ground pound, which I love the confidence, by the way, because Rocket League's ground pound, Def got some end lag to it if you will.
For sure. For sure. It can be very dangerous if you use it at the wrong time. And, I mean, who has been capitalizing in this set against people who are in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Yeah.
Sarme has been nailing those every single time. If I was Fozey, I would be 100% avoiding that ground pound. But you saw he's already hit 2, especially after that first one. The stage spikes from Sarme coming out, turning Fozey into a pinball.
Honestly, if I'm Fozey, I want to stand Lance, not even to fight. It's purely to stay alive, because you need the range to recover, considering how often Sarme has been edge guarding and then chasing him up in the skies as well. Consistently winning. My God, put him down! Put him down! He paid venue, let him play too.
That's not fair, bro. My man Fozey's just trying to get something, bro. He's getting tossed around like a clown ball, and he's like, please, just let me play the game. Now, granted, you were saying before, like, yeah, all right, people pick Sir Roland, or in this case, the King Knight, because one, they want the range on the Sigs, but two, he has defense out the wazoo, right? So it's like, all right, like he can live a very long time. But with the amount of consecutive hits that Sarme has been able to get, it's almost been a non-issue.
We are seeing it reasonably even up here, though, at least in terms of damage. Though I would still say the confidence and the momentum is on Sarme's side. Even after Fozey grabbing the lead there and getting the second stock, he's going to opt for sword. It seems like he did have enough time to swap back over to the lance if he wanted, but he wants to stick with the sword. It's now sword v sword. Wow, Sarme's just going to open that up with a gravity cancel side signature.
I think a lot of what's going on here is you were just alluding to the survivability of Sir Roland really shining through, because let's be real, Fozey was getting smacked up a bit there for a second. I was surprised that it was so even, but these air-to-air trades on these Sigs are so good. There it is again. He's just doing such a good job of making Sarme for once finally pump the brakes on all these short hop burst attempts.
Yeah, and you can see Fozey is using that down sig to great avail, right? It's kind of hard to punish. You saw that? He tried to punish it. Immediate end light from sword. Dang, and if he gravity cancels it?
What was Sarme doing at the end of that game, dude? That was a different guy. That's not the same guy.
It's the imposter, bro.
Yeah, he was just throwing out random signatures like over, down, GC on the left side. When Fozey's on the main platform, he just looked completely lost. Like he was fighting some other demons in Fozey at that moment, bro.
I mean, look, somebody go make sure that this is the same connection. Like, we got is that a bot that took over? But still, incredible credit to Fozey in being able to early on try to catch those D6 a lot. Kept whipping, but it was mostly as an attempt as like, hey, chill. And then at the end, they kept connecting, and then the overextensions from Sarme that Sparky was just talking about really ended up giving Fozey finally the opportunity to get the kills. But back here to Mammoth, how are you feeling about the stage pick and Sarme's chance of getting back into it?
I'm kind of like, Mammoth is like kind of big, like, you know, and that's Sir Roland over there, so he's like happy to be like chilling on this stage. But Sarme, once again, I mean, we saw him find great use of the anti-airs before, right? So it's like, okay, if you're able to continue that up, then maybe it's not going to matter too much. And especially if you get a ground pound here, it doesn't really matter how big the stage is. Wow, you are absolutely out of your mind.
You look like if a genius, if it works, it's like, well, why were you doing that in the first place?
He's doing such a great job just getting kind of back to the basics of what Sarme was doing very effectively before. And I mean, based on this first stock, I can easily see this going the way of every other game except for the last one, where he's just controlling the main stage. Fozey cannot land anytime he gets near. So much zoning potential that Sarme has with this bow. He's using it so well.
He's gone back to the basics, a healthy dose of D-Light, just trying to catch Fozey as he lands. Especially now, we didn't see a whole lot of lands in the second game because it was just the sword putting in so much work. So now he's getting boxed out. He keeps moving just out of range of all these sidelight attempts, and he just keeps Fozey backed off. He does get reversed, and Fozey is going to walk away with that. No, actually, he is going to get the wall touch. Fozey tried to go deep for a dare, but does not get it, and now he's going to be in a bad spot.
I'm so worried about Fozey over here. I'm so worried about Fozey over here.
Oh my God.
Sarme might take this card. Wow. Wow.
We turned into a whole Tom and Jerry cartoon just a second ago.
That's the way to do it, though, right? He was able to, because I mean, Sir Roland doesn't have like the highest speed stat. He's kind of in the middle of the road to slow, right?
Oh, he's slow.
So he's trying to drift past all this, but he's not moving very far. His aerial acceleration can't really keep up with Koji.
Yeah, when he's in the air, he's basically a blimp trying to turn on and on. Like it's not happening. You can wish and scrunch your mouth up any way you want to. It ain't happening.
And that's just so good for Koji, too, because if you're taking forever to try and touch the wall, especially in this position, he's hunting for it. He does connect on it, and now Fozey looking at bracket elimination here after going back off stage and being behind. Does have him in the red, so this is relatively close in terms of finding a D-Light Sarah if he can get access to the weapon in the first place, but it's actually going to be the land, so he's still got the KO, but I think you definitely want the sword right now.
Yeah, Sword's definitely going to give you a guaranteed conversion, but he does have, like, down sig on Rocket Lance from Roland is so fast. It is like, it'll pop you before you even get a chance to blink. But now that you have that sword, you got options. You can go for that down sig that's been working out for you a whole lot, or you can go for N sig, which is also huge. He's been jumping a lot. You can anti-air him cleanly. But instead, Sarme's still finding all these little crevices to get more hits in.
Why are you down there?
Please.
Why are you down there?
Don't do it! Don't do it! Is he back?
Wait.
Oh, he just saved Sarme. He was still dead anyway, so like he had to do that, but that ended up saving Sarme.
Okay.
I thought Sarme was going to go down with him, so he decided to take them both out. But the 6 is going to come through. He's going to get the damage on. Going right back to the sword and going to stay with the sword. I think that's your win condition right now. The lance has been okay, but I think the sword, especially that, has been what gave you game number 3 and hopefully gives you game number 4.
We have seen him pick up that down signature on sword quite a bit, but we also saw one very important one just recently that Sarme ended up dodging through perfectly and then finding a 2-hit that ended in a signature. Now the signatures are continuing to come out, but it's not a gravity cancel on the left or right side. It's on the main stage, so it's going to be significantly safer for Sarme to pick up, and he's been using them very successfully.
I'm just wigging out, dude. I'm like, can you get back on stage? Weapon for weapon.
No, you can't.
Air. He doesn't have enough. He can't make it. He's rolling. He's too slow, and that means Sarme is going to go ahead and knock Fozey out of the bracket 3-1. Valiantly fought by Fozey. Well, holy cow, dude. What a match.
Yeah, what a set. And also a correction to the timeline because that does, in fact, ruin Sparky's prediction. So that's also a
Everybody's sad out there. Everybody crying right now. It's a bummer. But still, we got to see it at least done in that way. And we got to see some amazing stuff from Sarme that I expect to hopefully continue. Sarme will be moving on to fight against Delta in the losers quarterfinals, but so many clippable moments from that set that I'm sure they're going to spend a lot of time on the Monday Dev stream.